Hi, it's Nikki here, and welcome to the Lavender Language Path Coaching. Today, I'm going to be talking about how we learn a language, and it's so important. When we come to learn a language, often we go straight to the grammar, to the structure, to all what we think are the important bits. But if we're doing that the wrong way, then we're never going to absorb that language. You're probably saying, language is so difficult to learn. I'm not good at language. I learn the words, but they don't stay with me. I can't find the words when I need them. My mind goes blank. I don't know where, the words go in one ear and out the other. And this is because your brain is not able to hold on to that information. And this can be for a different reasons, which I'll go through in following videos. But in today, I want to talk about something very specific, or a specific type of person. So are you somebody who fidgets, who likes to move around a lot on the chair, especially when you're a child? Were you a child who liked to watch TV upside down? Do you like to click a pen or move your feet? When you go to learn something, do you not, like, for example, you get a new phone, you don't have a look at the instructions, you go straight to the phone and you start playing with it to see. There's a fly that keeps going over my camera. That's the weird thing that keeps going over. So you like to learn on the spot. For your French or the language that you're learning right now, do you prefer to learn it in situ, so actually being there and being in the situation rather than sitting with a textbook? Your classic language lessons, do you find them hard when you're reading out of a textbook or with photocopies? Do you prefer to be wanting to go out directly into the shops and try and live the language right there and then? These are all classic signs of what is known as a kinesthetic learner. Another thing may be that the texture of, for example, clothes is really important to you. Do you love to feel and touch before you buy? Are you a very tactile person? Do you like to touch people? Are you always, when you're a child, maybe feeling things? It's all about kinesthetic. So it's all about feeling. You love to feel the language. You love to live the language. You need to move with the language. Everything is about feeling for you. And so when you're sitting in your classroom with textbooks, not moving, sitting there, and it feels very, very difficult for you because that language your brain cannot integrate that language. It cannot absorb it because it's not being absorbed through the right channel. So for you, I have two examples of how changing the way you learn can really help you understand and learn the language. So as a language trainer, and the time when I was employed as a language trainer, I had a client. She was about 50 and her language level was very low. She was French learning English. And she could probably speak very, very simply. But for her to understand the language was very hard. To put the words together was very difficult. And I remember the one time when we had an exercise to do. So I had a piece of paper with a very simple text. For example, this is a house. It has a blue door. It has 4 windows. The garden has lots of flowers. It was that simple. And I was asking her to listen to me. I read one sentence at a time and asked her to repeat it back. She couldn't. She couldn't remember the words. She didn't understand what I said. And we did it 3 or 4 times. And then I gave her the piece of paper to see the text. And she was like, I don't understand the words. And yet they were very, very simple and exactly at her level. But for her, it was Chinese. So we were talking and I said to her, when you were a child at school, did you really want to move in the classroom? Were you told to sit down? And she said, yes, it was horrible. I just wanted to run around the classroom all the time. And I didn't like sitting on chairs. And I said, what about now? She says, yeah, I really love to move, and I don't like sitting around for a long time. And so I said to her, okay, I have a feeling that you are a kinesthetic learner. I want you to read the text while you are walking around the room. So take the text, hold it, and as you're reading it, walk. And she started doing this, and she turned to me and she said, what is this magic? What's happened? What have you done to me? And I said, I've done nothing to you. I've just helped you to learn the way you learn naturally, and that is through movement. Her intonation changed. She was able to connect to the words. She understood what she was reading. The whole thing went from black to white. It just changed instantly. And it brought tears to my eyes, and it still brings me emotion now, thinking about how this changed her whole learning experience. So I said to her, right, every time we do an exercise now, I want you to walk it. I want you to be able to walk or to move your arms. If we're sitting down, I want you to take a squishy ball and squish it in your hand, or click a pen. Bring movement all the time. And it completely changed the way she learnt. It was just night and day for her. And so for you as this type of learner, it is so important that you bring movement into the way you learn. And this can be, as I told this woman, if you're sitting in your classic French or English, if you're French learning English lesson, have a squishy ball that you can squish around. I also have something called an Amazen, which is the little clay balls that I make that have texture in them, and I sell them. And this brings me to another example of during a book club. So I ran a book club for expats learning French. And we had a book, and we all had the same book, and I would read a small paragraph from the book. And each person would then read the paragraph after me, so that all hear it, they would all practice it, and they would hear each other. And then we would work on pronunciation, vocabulary, etc. Well, this one girl said, oh, this is really hard. I don't understand the text. Anyway, we continued. And then I asked the people to put down their book. I would read 4 or 5 words and ask them to repeat it from memory. And they all did it, apart from this one girl who said, I don't understand. I can't remember. That's too many words. You're reading long sentences. I said, I'm just reading 4 or 5 words. And she couldn't get it. So I gave her an Amazen. I gave her one of these clay balls that I make. And I said, just roll this in your hand while we're doing it. So we did it again. And she was like, what happened? Did you just read a shorter sentence than before? I says, no, it's exactly the same length of sentence. I says, all that's changed is that you have brought texture and movement into your reading. She understood the words. She connected with them. This fly seems to love the webcam. She connected with the words. The intonation was there. The understanding was there. Everything fitted. And now she has this Amazen with her all the time when she's learning, when she's doing things, when she has to sit down. It's with her to feel. And it's completely changed her life, this little clay ball. And so I said, movement and texture are highly important. And if you do this while you are learning your language, your learning will change completely. You will feel it completely differently. So have a go. Please let me know what you think about this video, if this feels true for you, if you're this type of learner, and what the experience of learning French or English, if you're a French speaker, how the experience of learning a language has been for you. And try my method and see if it changes something for you. If you'd like to know more, just head over to nikkihoward.com. I have lots of information there. I am running a membership at the moment for expats to gain confidence in speaking French. Have a look. It's called Ooh La La. And yeah, it's really to give confidence to help you find your French voice. I have lots as well for French speakers learning English, head over to nikkihoward.com, and I love to see you soon on my further videos. Take care.